How to create a form in Reason. Web forms are useful for many things: signing up for events, requesting information, providing feedback, or even completing short surveys. To add a form, click Forms from the Content Types menu. Click Add Form. Fill out the basic form fields. Name. This is an internal name for the form. This will help you find the form later. Save to database. Enter yes if you would like to save the results of the form to a database. Email of the recipient. Enter the user email addresses of the people who will receive the form submission. If you want the results of the form to be sent to multiple people, you can separate them with commas. Form content. This is where you will build your form. When you create a new form, the form content text area will have one form element already in place. The Submit button is required and can't be removed. You can, however, edit the text that these buttons display by clicking on the Submit button again and changing the name in the text field. To add form elements, click the Add New Field button at the top of the form content text area. When you add an element, a box pops up that allows you to enter information about the form element. Here are each of the form elements you can use and the options available for each. Text field is for entering a single line of text. Paragraph for entering multiple lines of text. Checkboxes. This prompts visitors to select one of several options using checkboxes. Radio button group prompts visitors to select one and only one of several options using radio buttons. This is best when there are only a few options and only one should be answered, like yes, no, or maybe. Select list. This element allows the visitor to select only one of several options, but it uses a drop-down menu instead of radio buttons. Comment places information on the form. This can be useful for breaking up your form into several sections or for providing more instructions that will fit in the element label. Hidden field places information into the email without it being visible on the form. This can be useful for providing instructions to the recipient of the email. After adding a form element to your form, you will see Required, Title or Label, and Default Value or Select options. If you click the checkbox for Required, the user will have to answer form element you placed before hitting the Submit button. Title and Label are the label that appears next to the text area, telling users what the text field is for. Select options is for the radio, checkboxes, and select list form elements. Click the Add button to add more options to those respective form elements. Default value is optional text that will be pre-filled in the field for site visitors. Select Autofill option. Select None to disable autofill. Select Autofill Editable or Autofill Non-Editable to fill in certain specially named fields for logged-in users. If you choose the Autofill option, the user will be able to change the pre-filled information. Fill out the Thank You Note section. Thank you message. After submitting the form, visitors will see this message. This is a required field. Display return link. Toggles whether or not to place a link after the thank you message, which allows the user to return to the form. Show submitted data. Toggles whether or not to display a copy of the submitted data on the thank you page. Select optional advanced options. You may not see all of these options on your form. Please use the default settings for this. However, if you want users to be able to enter multiple submissions, you can click yes for that option. Click Save and continue editing and check your work, or click Save and Finish to return to the form's listing page.